Shalom, ye men of Israel. I'm going to start off by giving all thanks, all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wahar Kodash. Yahweh being a true Hebrew name of the Heavenly Father. Not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not Yah, but Yahweh, which means He is to be, to exist. Bahashem in the name, Yahweh Shai, the only begotten Son of the Most High Yahweh, who the world ignorant calls Jesus Christ. But that name will have to be in the Hebrew. So it's Yahweh Shai, which means He saves, He delivers, He is our salvation. Bahashem in the name, Wahar and Rachar, Spirit, Kodash, Holy, which is the Holy Spirit. I want to give double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well, teach well, taught me the truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect that are pushing His truth in sincerity and diligence. And the great multitude that will hear the word and believe on the name of Yahweh Shemel Shai, and prophecy and truth, love, which is law, statutes, and commandments, and faith of Yahweh Shemel Shai. I'm the brother Benal Bond of the Dollar GMS Camp, coming to you again with another lesson, praying that this lesson is edifying. All right. So I have this article here, which is somewhat of a follow-up to a previous lesson that I did some time ago. And this is about a U.S. Sun. We're going to get to it, man. I don't want to make this lesson too long, but edifying. It says, disturbing new data after mass store closures across U.S. with the cities and chains most at risk of shutdown revealed. So a little spotlight on this, because this has been in the news. They've been really pushing this strong for the past, I say, year now, okay, or maybe a little less than a year. All right, about the majority of stores closing down. You have your CVS, you have your Walgreens, even the big conglomerate Walmart is shutting down various stores. And the reason that they're citing for these mass closure is excessive theft, okay? With them even saying some have been, robbery or organized crime where, they're suffering a lot of shrink. And shrink just means, deficits. Okay, the company may have inventory targeted to make certain goals, but theft being one of those things that may hinder them from meeting those goals. All right, where they sort of forecast what they want to make this year versus last year. That's how they actually estimate the net and the gross. All right, so they're saying that they've been suffering a lot of loss through theft, so they've been closing a lot of stores. And we know who they're attributing that theft, in the hood, for the most part, certain parts of cities that are close to the hood, all right? And who lives in the hood? You so-called blacks, so-called Hispanic, so-called Native Indians. You're in the hood, all right? So they're focusing on you. They're pointing fingers at this time. The accuser of thy brethren, Revelation 12:10, okay? He's pointing the finger at you, and he's trying to set off something. Basically, he wants the laws to come down hard on, so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, Native Indians. He wants that law to come down hard on you, all right? That martial law. That's why he's crying to his government. He's pushing this notion that they're losing money and something has to be done. So we'll go ahead and read the article. All right, it says, disturbing new data has shown the cities most at risk for store closure as retail crime continues to rise in the U.S. It says the National Retail Federation, NRF, released its 2023 Retail Security Survey, providing insight from 177 brands accounting for 1.6 trillion of annual retail sales in 2022. So retailers reported inventory loss, also known as shrink, averaged 1.6 last year, totaling 112.1 billion in losses. Okay, so they're saying that's a large amount. They're saying that this amount, the shrink, the losses, is based upon theft. Again, organized theft or robberies and so forth. It says theft was the reason behind more than half of reported shrink, 65% according to the survey. So Esau like to throw these numbers at you, right? Because we don't know exactly if that is all due to theft. It could be the signs of the time. People not spending as much as they used to. Okay, but he wants to get that point across because he has an agenda. It goes on to say, oh, many stores are finding it hard to combat theft, which can sometimes lead to violent confrontation between thieves and employees. Again, listen to the tone of these paragraphs, this actual article. It's not the first, and they're really driving that home to say that theft is the reason why they're not making money anymore. It says retailers are seeing unprecedented levels of theft coupled with rampant crime in their stores, and the situation is only becoming more dire, said National Retail Federation Vice President for Asset Protection and Retail Operation David Johnston. Quote, far beyond the financial impact of these crimes, the violence and concern over safety continue to be the priority for all retailers, regardless of size or category. Unquote. It says, this has led to several stores closing down in locations where organized retail crime has become rampant. See, again, the agenda here is to cry wolf. All right? They're crying wolf. These figures that they're throwing out as far as loss, who are we to challenge them? Okay? But they're trying to get the attention of their representatives, the lawmakers, okay, to pass various laws that give them more power to act on what's so-called happening to their stores. They want the government to pass these laws that will enact martial law at some point in time, because the target here is you so-called blacks, Hispanic, Native Indians. Okay? You may have some so-called white people, but again, his agenda is to get you either thrown in jail or get you killed. It says this has led to several stores closing down in locations where organized retail crime has become rampant. It said based on reported inventory losses, the NRF has created a list of the cities that were impacted the most by retail theft in 2022. All right, you see that list right there. We'll go over quickly. Los Angeles, California. You have a lot of so-called blacks, Hispanics there. Oakland and San Francisco. Houston, Texas. New York City. Seattle, Washington. Atlanta, Georgia. A lot of so-called blacks in that location. Sacramento, California. Illinois, Denver. Colorado, Miami, Florida. Albuquerque, New Mexico. These are, if they were to do a poll to see what's the ratio between blacks, so-called Hispanics, to so-called white people, okay, you will see that there is a target. They want to say, without saying too many things, that it's you so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics. But they're going to use PR, proper wording, to not point fingers. But we know who the corporate is here, right? Basically 2/3 of Israel. When I say third of Israel, I made that reference, so-called blacks, Hispanic, Native Indians. You are the lineage, true lineage of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay? We'll go on and read a little bit more. There's another article that I want to hit up. It said, as a big problem for retail, it's like it said, for the 5th year in a row, Los Angeles has topped the list. It said, it's a big problem for retail, said Home Depot CEO Ted Decker on CNBC Squawk Box. This isn't a random shoplifter anymore. It said retail crime, is a quote, retail crime, violence, and theft continue to impact the retail industry at unprecedented levels. The effect of these criminal acts are not isolated to large national brand or large metropolitan cities, said the NRF. All right. So daily media reports show that no business is immune, and these issues touch retailers of all segments, sizes, and location across the United States. So we get the point. All right, we get the point because he's what is that? Psalm 55 and 21. It said the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. So he's very convincing when he writes these articles. Okay, and they follow a certain agenda to ensure that everyone's on board. But check this out. Let me get this other article. Now, again, let's highlight this title: Disturbing New Data After Mass Store Closure Across U.S., with the cities and chains most at risk of shutdown revealed. Okay, let's get this other article, which I found to be pretty interesting. Let's open this up. Go to the publisher's website. All right. So the title to this article says chains, right? Retail chains, to be more specific, right? Retail chains are using theft to mask other issues, report says. This is from Nathaniel Marison from CNN. Theft is exploding, and some data from retailers, along with numerous videos of violent store robberies and looting, seem to support the claim. I said, but some retail analysts and researchers, statistics, say stores may be overstating the. It says, why? It's a useful deflection, camouflaging weak demand, mismanagement, and other issues denting business right now, and it forces lawmakers to respond. All right? So just to recap that article, it's saying that theft, okay, is being highlighted as a major cause of retail loss. But this article is saying that no, that it's not theft alone, even though they keep putting that yellow marker, so you can see that it is theft. It said it could be because of what? It's being used as a deflection, camouflaging weak demand, mismanagement, and other issues denting business right now. Okay? It said it forces lawmakers to respond. It said across the country, the actual increase in rates of theft at stores does not correspond to the increase in company commentary and actions on theft, according to a new report by retail analysts at William Blair. It says retailers are increasingly vocal on the subject, in part to draw out government action, the analyst wrote. For the pandemic, that's because theft has also gotten more visible and more violent, retailers say, and has put employee safety at risk in some cases. To rising costs are impacting retailers too. Theft is just one of many structural issues chains are facing, most notably the shift to online shopping and overexpansion of brick and mortar retail. It said companies are also likely using the opportunity to draw attention away from lower profit margin due to higher promotion and poor inventory planning in recent quarters. William Blair retail analyst did a report this week. Said many retailers misjudged how much merchandise they needed to carry and now have a glut. Okay? We'll read this last paragraph here because, again, it's not just theft that's causing these companies to lose money. Theft is an issue, okay, but it's being so over-exaggerated because it's in the news 24/7. They're writing articles about it, okay, knowing that these people of this world are so weak-minded that they'll just go with the flow and say, yeah, theft is what's called, and they don't really know. Again, this is saying that it's not just theft. It could be poor planning, you're having too much inventory and you're not making profit. So you got to write it off by saying it is theft. A lot of these companies, they can write off theft because they're covered by insurance. So they make their money back. Okay? That's what Home Depot does. That's why their policy says if you see anyone that's trying to steal anything, you're just don't touch the person, let the person go. Because they say they value employees' lives than the merchandise. So they have coverage on these merchandise. Okay? This last paragraph will read, said debating over shrinkage. It says the analyst noted that overall merchandise losses due to external and internal theft, damaged product, inventory mismanagement, and other errors makes up just 1.5% to 2% of retail sales. That percentage has remained steady for years, despite retailers sounding alarm more than ever about theft. You see, because we read in the previous article that it was a high number, like 69%. Now they're giving these figures. So that's what Esau likes to do, is cause confusion by throwing out figures. Because people are in tune when you hear dollars or percentage. Oh, that's a lot. It gets your attention. It says the National Retail Federation said that the retailers' losses, known as shrink, increased 19% last year to 112 billion, based on a survey of 177 retailers. It said, but shrink as a percentage of sales fell during the height of the pandemic, as stores temporarily closed, and grew in 2022 as stores reopened. This hits the profit in relatively small and fleeting. This hit the profits is relatively small and fleeting, not reason enough to close stores, according to the analysts. At 9 major retailers that have increasingly cited the rising impact of theft, shrink as a percentage of sales increased just 0.4% in 2022, they found. They said, we believe there is a disconnect between the expected increase in shrink and the attention it has drawn. Okay? It says a top Walgreens executive seemed to indicate as much earlier this year. Maybe we cried too much last year about theft and other losses. Walgreens Finance Chief James Coho acknowledged in January. Coho is no longer with Walgreens. Okay? So, again, they're just creating that rhetoric about countering, the so-called blasting and a trumpeting that theft, because these companies are run by human beings and they can lie, especially Esau Edom. All right, let's go ahead and catch some scriptures, man. I just wanted to show that though they're blowing a trumpet about theft, this article here says it's not just theft, okay? And they're exaggerating about the theft. Again, the agenda is to get the government's attention to pass these laws against so-called black people, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Indians, okay? And basically martial law at some point in time. So they can just kill you in the streets while you're trying to run away with the goods. All right? So again, let's go ahead and hold Psalm 55 and 21. And that reads, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. Is he not looking to kill you? Has he not been killing, every day, every hour? So-called black people, so-called Hispanics, Native Indians. He's been killing you left and right, man. And this is just another way of saying that he wants the law, he wants the right to be able to slay you, especially in these times, All right? Revelation 12:12, he knows he's running out of time, man. And that's part of that depopulation plan, okay, to get the population of the world to a very low number. And it doesn't matter how he enacts that, whether it's through death or by putting that C to the H to the I to the P in you, okay? Well, you're dead anyway if you put that in you through Yahweh Shem Al Shai. But that's what he's pushing, okay? And eventually, FEMA is going to come into play with that martial law. I'll read it again, Psalm 55:21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. He's appealing to the government, okay, to drop some serious laws to either get you captured or killed, Jay. Basically, this is Sirach 13 and 13. Because you have to watch this devil, man. Because speaking as a man, I felt that's what Esau was doing. He was over-exaggerating, overextending, reaching about this theft thing, man. Sirach 13:13 says, observe and take good heed, for thou walkest in peril of thy overthrowing. When thou hearest these things, awake in thy sleep. Okay? The accuser thy brethren. Right? That's what he's been doing from day one, ever since he lost his birthright. When when Isaac blessed Jacob, Genesis 27:36, okay? in Genesis 27:38, where Esau cried and asked his father for a blessing. And what did Esau say in the end? Let's get it. After my father's death, he will kill. Genesis 27:38. It says, Genesis 27:38, he said, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. All right. So this is where he received the blessings from Yahweh Shemi Shai, because he is the ruler of this world, but he's doing it in a carnal way. He is the sword of Yahweh Shemi Shai. He lacks that spirit. Okay. But this rulership of Esau, Edom, which is the last captivity of Israel, okay, was not created to set that he lost his birthright, which he threw away anyway. And Isaac basically was prophesying the way he's going to live. That Job 9:24, okay, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He's been ruling the world with wickedness. At the same time, looking to destroy Jake. Okay, you sons of power. It says, and by the sword shalt thou live, Genesis 27:40, and by the sword shalt thou live, shall have to break his yoke from off thy neck. Okay, and here's the meat. Okay, I'll jump down to 42. It says, and these words of Esau, her elder son, and these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah. Oh, Salaki, I missed the point. Genesis 27:41, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. And he's been killing Jacob, man, consistently. All right? The more obvious fashion is shooting you down in the streets. But the ones that's not obvious to the 2/3 of Israel is the poisoning of your food, your water, the air, your minds. See, the 2/3 is not aware of that. So close to Esau are in the spirit of Yahweh Shemi Shai. We see this devil, and we see the wiles of the devil. Okay, let's get that. And he's been doing this, man, through it says armor of Yahweh Shai, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Okay, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness, or against spiritual wickedness in high places. Yeah, this is the Esau Edom is the man of the demon Satan. Okay, because he's created to be wicked, and he was created in perfection. All right, and again, the 2/3 of Israel, they cleave to Esau Edom. They have no clue what time it is. We just read in Sirach 13:13, it says, basically saying to watch yourself, observe, and take good heed, okay, for thou walkest in perils of thy overthrowing. That's what Esau Edom is doing. He's been overthrowing you, man. Okay? So if you don't pay attention through the power and spirit of Yahweh Shemi Shai, you're going to fall for those wiles of the devil. And this is one of them, the article that we just finished reading. He's painting that picture that you so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Indians, you are the one that's causing all these problems. You are the reason why these stores are not making any profit, because you're stealing. Now, it's not far-fetched, because Jake, if given an opportunity, okay, especially with those self-checkout booths, okay, if Jake sees an opportunity, okay, he will take it. But we know what time it is. That's not what we should be doing in these times. All right? But the wicked would do wickedly, taking on that spirit of Esau Edom. The 2/3 will do wickedly. You see? I'm going to go ahead and hold Revelation 12:10 and it reads, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power, Yahweh, and the power of his Hamashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. You see? he's seeking to defile you, because once you go against the ordinance of Yahweh Shem Shai, you're marked for death. That's why the 2/3 have been getting killed left and right, man. All right, going against the power own thing. All right. So let's go ahead and hold Psalm 64 and 25. Because this devil, 2 and 5, this devil seeks your life. And that's a spiritual battle, as he proclaimed in Genesis 27 and 38. Actually, 40. Okay? It's a spiritual battle. Psalm 64 and 2 says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. Well, let's start at 1. Give it some context. To the chief musician, a psalm of David. So David was constantly praying as he was being pursued by Saul. He was consistently praying to Yahweh Shem Shai to aid him, to keep him from his enemies, right, in dark times. So he was faithful, man. All right, he said to the chief musician in Psalm of David, hear my voice, O Yahweh Shem Shai, in my prayer, preserve my life from fear of the enemy. And Esau Edom is the enemy. He is our arch enemy. All right, so that battle is set on stage. Good versus evil. Okay, the sons of power and the sons of wicked. It said, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bow to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. That they may shoot in secret at the perfect, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. And who are the perfect? The Hebrew Israelites. Okay? And they're seeking to get their birthright back, man. It said they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of land snares privily. They say, who shall see them? Because all these companies from Home Depot, Walmart, okay, CVS, they're in cahoots with each other, man. That's not a coincidence that they're, closing these stores down, man. They understand what time it is, okay? They know what's around the corner, you see? So they're throwing all these numbers, these figures out, but the goal is to incite the government to create laws to come up against the 2/3 of Israel, those that are out there doing wickedly. And hey man, that's just the way it is. You see? For we know better. Come on, man. This is not the time to be doing wicked shit. Knowing what time it is. 2 Ezra 9 and 1. Measure the times. All these things going on around the world. That war between Hamas and Israel, Russia and Ukraine, earthquakes, volcanoes erupting, floods. Measure you the time, man. This is not the time to be sleeping and doing stupid shit to get you deleted. This is time to repent and pay attention to one in this world. And pray to Yahweh Shem Shai through supplication and fasting that you may be spared in that time, man. Because shit is about to really pop off, man. Again, these prophecies, okay, are actually going live. All right? So Yahweh Shem Shai is narrating all these things, man. This is his movie. All right? That's why that stage is set for Jacob and Esau, okay, to have that push, that tug of war. It makes for a great movie. All right? I wanted to quote Romans 9 and 13. Because that stage is set. All right? 9 and 13 reads, I'll just get to the point. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with Yahweh? Yahweh Shem Shai forbid. Who are we to go against he that created all things? We're just one of his many creations. Okay? But the movie has to be played in that way. Hey, man, it makes for an exciting movie. When you're watching a movie, all right, you see the way the movie goes. There's arch nemesis. You have the good guy, the bad guy. In the end, it looks like the bad guy's going to win, but the good guy wins in the end. All right? So Esau is the son of the wicked. Jacob is the son of power, man. And that's how the movie goes. Okay? I want to jump down to, for the sake of time, Romans 9 and 21. Start at 20. All right? It says, Nay, but O man, who art thou that replies against Yahweh Shemel Shai? Shall the thing formed say to him, to that, Salaki, Nay, but O man, who art thou that replies against Yahweh Shemel Shai? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, Why hast thou made me thus? 21, Romans 9:21, had not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? 22, what if Yahweh, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endure with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction, and that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared unto glory. You see, Romans 15:4. For those things that were written aforetime are written for our learning. These scriptures are written so long ago, man, but when you read it, it manifests itself in real time. This is that time. This is that time where these scriptures are truly speaking, and it's making spiritual sense to the men that have been awakened, through the power and the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shah to these things. All right? Esau has to play his role. Okay? Jacob has to play his role. So says Yahweh Shemel Shai. So as it is written, so shall it be done. Okay? There's no escaping prophecies, man. But Yahweh Shemel Shai, Amos 3 and 7, gives us the spirit to know all these things and how to walk as he's guiding our feet. Okay? But to know what Esau Edom is doing, man, that's spiritual power right there. We can see how he's lining up the dominoes and he's going to hit it where he's going to start falling, a domino effect. Okay? So it's beautiful that I was able to find that article that countered the many articles that we've been reading saying that theft is on a rise, CVS is closed down, Walgreens is shutting down stores. Now we sort of understand that they're building this up for a climax, to incite the government to, push out those laws against Jake, you so-called black, so-called Hispanics, Native Indians, so he can come down harder on you. All right? So I think I'm going to leave it at that. I believe the point was made about those two articles. I want to say, call halal Yahweh Bashim El Shah Bashim Kakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, teach well, peace and salutations to the hopeful elect that are pushing the truth and sincerity and diligence, and a great multitude that will hear the word and believe on the name of Yahweh Bashim El Shah and prophecy and truth, love, which is law, statutes, and commandments, and faith of Yahweh Bashim El Shah. Kwam Yasharallah and the Bar Babylon. Got to keep pushing. Shalom, Israel.